She was ready to give up, convinced her life no longer mattered. But on a stormy night, someone small, fragile, and unexpected knocked on her door, and that tiny visitor changed everything. Her name was Mira, a woman who once carried light in her eyes, dreams in her hands, and hope in her heart. But depression does not come like a flood. It arrives quietly, taking a little piece of you each day, until one morning, you wake up and you don't recognize yourself anymore. For months, Mira barely left her bed. Her apartment felt like a cage, silent, suffocating, and endlessly dark. The curtains stayed closed, her phone untouched, her world shrinking smaller and smaller. Friends stopped visiting, family stopped checking, and Mira stopped caring. Every day felt like she was walking through thick fog, slowly drowning in emotions she couldn't explain and exhaustion she couldn't escape. Some days, she didn't even cry. She just lay there, numb, trying to remember what joy ever felt like. And on one particularly rainy evening, when thunder shook the sky and loneliness felt heavier than ever, Mira sat at the edge of her bed, thinking, wondering if anyone would notice if she disappeared. But then, a sound. Tap, tap, tap. So soft she almost missed it. She ignored it at first, thinking it was just the storm or branches brushing against the door. But then came a tiny, trembling cry. Meu mira frose. Another soft, desperate, I'm here. Please notice me, kinda cry echoed through her hallway. Slowly, almost mechanically, she stood up and walked to the door. Her hand hesitated, as if unsure whether she had the strength to care about anything anymore. When she opened the door, there it was, a tiny kitten completely soaked from the rain. Its thin fur clung to its fragile body, its paws shivered on the cold floor, and its big, terrified eyes looked up at her, begging silently for warmth. The kitten let out another soft mew, and something in Mira's chest shifted. A feeling, small but real, a flicker she thought had died long ago. She knelt down, whispering, "Oh, little one, where did you come from?" The kitten took one small step toward her, then gently placed its tiny paw on her hand, as if asking permission to trust her. Tears filled Mira's eyes. She didn't know why. Maybe she finally felt needed. Maybe she finally felt seen. "Come here," she whispered softly. She picked up the kitten, its cold body trembling against her chest, and brought it inside. She wrapped it in a towel, drying its soaked fur. She warmed some milk. She placed it near her heater and watched as the kitten curled up and began to purr, a soft vibration that filled the silence she had been drowning in for months. For the first time in so long, Mira didn't feel completely alone. The kitten stayed, or maybe it chose her, and from that moment on, it followed Mira everywhere. When she woke up, it was there, gently pawing her cheek. When she tried to sink back into bed, the kitten would nudge her, meowing as if saying, "Please, don't stay down today." When she cried, the kitten crawled onto her chest and rested its head under her chin, a small, warm weight pulling her back from the darkness. Little by little, Mira began to move again. She opened the curtains to give the kitten sunlight. She cleaned because she didn't want the kitten getting sick. She cooked not just for the kitten, but for herself, too. She even laughed, the sound surprising her, echoing like something she had lost and suddenly found again. The kitten would chase little strings, bat at her fingers, fall asleep in her lap, and each tiny moment pulled Mira a little further from the edges of her despair. Days turned into weeks, and one morning, as she watched the kitten stretch sleepily on the couch, Mira felt something she hadn't felt in months. Joy, calm, hope. She named the kitten Soul because it felt like sunlight, a warm, gentle light that reached the darkest corners of her life. With Soul by her side, Mira began reclaiming her world. She painted again. Her first artwork was a portrait of Soul sleeping peacefully. She walked outside again, holding Soul in a small carrier. She called her family. She reconnected with friends. She apologized to herself for all the silent suffering she endured. And one evening, a Soul curled in her lap, purring softly. Mira realized something. She believed she had saved the kitten, but in truth, the kitten had saved her. It gave her a reason to get up. a reason to care, a reason to stay. Sometimes hope doesn't arrive loudly. Sometimes it comes in the form of a tiny, shaking creature on a stormy night, asking for help and giving healing in return. Compassion is powerful. Saving even the smallest life can bring unexpected healing to your own. Sometimes, the help you give becomes the hope you receive. If you or someone you know is struggling with their mental health, please know that you are not alone, and help is available. Resources are listed in the description below. Has a small animal ever brought comfort or hope into your life when you least expected it? Share your story in the comments. Never know who your experience may inspire or help. Thank you for watching.